What's happening, fellas? Feast your eyes on the class of 1972 Yamaha DT2 MX. This is one of the first, I think it's actually the first year Yamaha came out with the 250 motocross bike. They used to take the DT Enduro and strip it down. Yamaha caught wind of what everybody had been doing since '68 and decided to give the people what they wanted, which is a stripped down race only weapon. And this one, the engine, I would say it's in the mid 30s, seat of the pants dyno. It'll wheelie all the way up the driveway, no problem. It has a new Mikuni carb on it, a race pipe, and the top end's been rebuilt and a mild porting job done on it. So the thing absolutely hauls the mail. This was a lifelong friend of mine, Jack Weaver's bike. I've known Jack since the 70s. Jack had a big collection of bikes he sold to help his daughter buy a new house. He's retiring, moving to Florida. He had 120 bikes. We're at the auction. We bought this bike at the auction probably 6 or 9 months ago. And it was his, he had it mechanically dialed. The engine was rebuilt, but the cosmetics were typical of a 50-year-old motocross bike. Wizard got his hands on it, went through the engine. Everything was perfect. He had it dialed to the nines mechanically, and we're in the shop, and we took a vote. And the consensus was we either sold it like it was, it needed a paint job, frame needed to be powder coated, and it needed to be a full cosmetic restoration, which is not to be taken lightly on a 50-year-old motorcycle. It's a lot of work. But the staff said, unanimously voted that it ran so good, we thought it was worthy of a full frame-off restoration. So the saga began. We took the bike right down to the frame, and the frame was sent out and sandblasted and powder coated, the original gloss black finish. The frame is, that's another reason we did. The frame and engine cases were perfect on this. The original rims were in excellent condition. All the original cycle parts were good. It just needed to be taken over to the finish line and restored. So frame came back and we started carefully restoring and reassembling each and every piece of the motorcycle. The engine has a perfect 150 PSI compression, maybe 4 hours ride time on the piston that's in there. It's a new Wisecoat piston that Jack had put in it. So we just went through the intake, put a brand new Mikuni carburetor on it, new intake seals, new clamps, a new air filter on the original fiberglass air box, new spark plug, restored the exhaust and painted the exhaust, vapor blasted, restored and repainted the engine while it was out of the frame, all new hardware, all the engine case covers were sanded and painted the original semi-gloss. The cylinder fins were polished. The cylinder edges were polished, original. The cylinder was repainted just like it was from the factory. So the engine was completely restored. New crank seals, a new clutch basket. It was a new old stock or a new used clutch basket, and brand new clutch plates, springs, and new clutch cable, new throttle cable. So completely restored the engine. New clutch perch, also with a new clutch lever, and new Whirlpool throttle, replacement Whirlpool throttle with the Ori grips on it. So the engine was remounted back in the frame. The tins, the front fender and the rear fender and the side panels went to Woody in the paint department, and he laid down this, completely restored the tank inside and out. The tank was given the metal rescue treatment and then flushed out, so the inside of the tank is as clean as the outside. A new fuel petcock was mounted on it. After Woody painted it, he laid down this gorgeous paint job and the graphics, and then clear coated over the graphics and buffed the whole thing, and it looks absolutely freaking gorgeous. When I sit on this bike, there's something about a metal tank that's got a beautiful paint job on it and the aluminum gas cap and the front fender, which reminds me of something from a soapbox derby or road racing or something. I remember the little soapbox derby cars. It's a simple graphic scheme, but it just works. Real timeless design. The side number plates were painted, and the rear fender was repainted. New graphics were put on the number plates and on the rear fender. It was all three components were clear coated. The front number plate is brand new with new mounting hardware with a new. I actually have a picture. I want to show you this because Jack had it painted a different color. Oh shit! This isn't the one in color. I had this in color. Actually, it's upstairs in the shop, and this is exactly the way it came out of the box in 1972. All the components, the color, the fit and finish. The only item that cycle part that isn't exactly like the original is the exhaust system. This is a performance expansion chamber that Jack had put on it. I think it's a Bassani, but I'm not 100% sure. It could be through the Yamaha race catalog. I don't know. There was no labels on it. All the cycle parts, like the pegs, they were taken off and sandblasted. All the mounting hardware has been either replaced or restored. The brake lever, the mount for the brake lever, the Kickstarter, every nut and bolt before it went back on the bike was vapor blasted and cleaned and then clear coated, including the swing arm and the axle, all the axle mount hardware. Basically, all the original nuts and bolts were stripped and then re-clear coated. Starting at the front end of the bike, the front end came completely off, obviously, because it was stripped for powder coating. The triple clamps were repainted. Brand new steering head bearings were installed. Brand new set of handlebars. As I mentioned, the perches and levers and cables are all new, including the throttle cable and the grips and the kill switch and the breather for the gas cap. Front fender was totally restored. All new mounting hardware on the front number plate and the front fender. The forks were restored and rebuilt with new rubber boots, new seals. The fork lowers were sanded and polished. And of course, new fork oil. Has the period correct fork air caps on there. If you want to do some jumps with it, you want to put 10, 12 pounds of air in there, you can. Brand new Dunlop front tire, new tube, new rim strip were installed. The wheel was vapor blasted. The spokes, rim, the entire wheel was vapor blasted. And then the sides of the rim, as you can see, were given a three-stage polish, so it shines really nice. And then the inside was just polished with Pro 40 and quadruple zero steel wool, so it doesn't look quite as chromed as the outside, but it's very labor intensive. The brake backing plate was completely buffed and polished. The front brakes were completely restored with new pads, and all the components, as you can see, were polished. And then the ones that were stripped to metal that were clear coated. If they were steel, if they're aluminum, they're just polished. So completely restored. The entire front end, everything's new or restored on it. The fuel tank has new mounting bolts, new mounting rubbers, a new mounting, there's some rubber bumpers underneath the tank. Those are brand new. All the mounting hardware for the tank is new. There's a nine-page work order with 2 pages just of parts. The seat was restored with a new seat cover and new seat foam. All the mounting hardware, as you can see, is either brand new or original, restored. The spacers for the fender are new. The shocks were restored. The springs were removed. The body was vapor blasted and polished. The springs were repainted. The swing arm was powder coated when the frame was powder coated. It has new swing arm bushings. You can see the original chain guide on the bottom here is restored with a new roller. Brand new set of chains and sprockets. It's got a gold chain, a 53 tooth sprocket. All the original hardware was restored with new lock washers. The wheel was given the same treatment the front wheel was given. It was taken off, sprocket taken off, tire taken off. It was vapor blasted and polished with quadruple zero steel wool, all the spokes. The outside of the rim was sanded and polished with a buffing wheel. The inside was polished with quadruple zero steel wool and Pro 40 aluminum polish. So completely restored. The rear rim, the rear brakes, new brake pads. You can see the pads are all the way adjusted out. Everything here was removed and restored. You can see the backing plate was sanded and polished. Everything that is steel was clear coated. Everything that's aluminum is polished. The brake rod was also powder coated. I forgot to mention that. This is what we call a comprehensive, no bolt unturned, complete frame off restoration to showroom, brand new condition, as close as you can get a 53-year-old dirt bike to showroom condition. The original shifter is in excellent condition. I probably left a couple things off. We'll take a look at the bottom of the frame rails. I'll pull it off the stand so you can see that. It's got a new cable guide on the front forks, original style cable guide. This thing runs and rides like a brand new motorcycle. It's tuned to the nines. It shifts beautifully. The clutch works awesome. I'm 220 pounds and it wheelies all the way up the driveway, second, third, and fourth gear. If I had enough room, I could have hit fifth, but there just wasn't enough room in the driveway. It's as good as you could ever possibly get one. That's the good news. The bad news is it's a total of 76 hours labor between the paint shop, the service, department, Wizard working on it, and the detail shop doing all the polishing and restoring all the components. So at $150 an hour, that's an $11,400 work order, plus $2,753 in parts and paint, and the total is $14,153. With tax, that's $15,051. So it's a $15,000 work order for a full frame-off restoration, plus what I paid for the bike at auction with bidding against 50 other guys. So truly a labor of love. Goes back to the beginning when I was talking about, we were voting on, do we just sell this bike as it is for $4,000 or $5,000 or whatever it'll get at auction after we get it dialed in and running perfectly, or do we do a frame off? And we haven't had, we've been here since 2011, and we have not had a single 72 DT2 MX come through. They're super rare. I don't know what the production stats are, but I think most of them are ridden in the ground. So because it's such a rare machine, to us it warranted doing this frame off restoration, and it's definitely ready to display in the museum here. It'll be here. We're open 7 days a week now. The New England Motorcycle Museum, we're on the second floor. 7 days a week, you can come take a look at it. This will be on the third floor with some other classic motorcycles. We're on the second floor. If you want to come take a look at it, give us a call, 860-454-7024. Or if you're one of our repeat customers and you got Junior's phone number and you're interested in buying this before it goes to the eBay auction, give Junior a call on his cell, 860-471-0152. He'll hook you up. We can ship this right to your house, enclosed, only enclosed, roll-on, roll-off transport. We've shipped over 10,000 bikes, never a problem. We can finance it, and if you wanted to trade a bike in, we do take trades. So just a spectacular piece of moto history is what we're looking at right here. And I'm sure it'll be this nice 50 years from now if it's kept high and dry and not ridden into the ground. But if you want to race it, it's ready to take to the line at the AMA Nationals, Vintage Nationals, and try your hand at some vintage motocross. It needs nothing. I want to show you the frame rails. Let me wheel it over here. You'll see the attention to detail here on the bottom of this bike is as nice as on the top. The frame rails are absolutely freaking perfect. I think that's one of the reasons we did this bike too, is the guys are like, well, the frame's perfect, man. And the cases are beautiful, so let's take it all away. And no regrets. It was a really fun project. We worked on it for months. The work order says 76 hours. I probably thought about it for twice as many hours as that. I can tell you, putting these decals on took Woody hours, because these are see these pinstripes right here? These are that's one decal, and then that's the paint, and then it's another decal, and that's the paint. And to get them on there perfectly lined up the way they are, exactly the way they were brand new, is no amateur feat. If you've never done a set before, you'd probably ruin 3 sets before you'd even come close to getting one right. Woody's been doing auto body work for 30 years. He's a super pro, and spends his whole life dedicated towards restoring classics like this. So it's a beautiful, beautiful piece, man. It really is. The only issue I saw anywhere on it is there's a little chip on these 2 cylinder fins right here, which is normal for a dirt bike that's been ridden off-road. If you come around this side, the cylinder's in perfect condition. That's about it. You know, there's really no patina on any of the parts, because they've all been restored to show them new condition. So good luck finding a nicer one. I've never seen a nicer 72 DT MX come up for sale. This is definitely the high water mark for this year as the nicest ones we've had through here. If you have any questions, give us a call, 860-454-7024. We will take care of you. Thank you for watching, and God bless America.